Hello, I'm Lorraine Hahn and welcome to Executive Golf. I'm here at one of the world's most popular destinations, Bali, and we're playing at a course that was home to the 2009 Indonesia Open. The new Kuta golf course sits on the cliffs of Uluwatu on the southern tip of the island with breathtaking views of the Indian Ocean. This par 72 link-style layout presents several different challenges with limestone formations lining several holes and tricky winds blowing in from the water. My playing partner today is Carwithen. He's CEO of Ratu Oceania Raya. The company trains workers for jobs with the world's major cruise lines, including Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Oceania, and Disney. He's a 34-year-old veteran in the hospitality industry, 24 specifically in cruises. He's lived and worked in Indonesia since 2008, and the last 3 right here in Bali. Sean, great seeing you. Thank you so much for playing with me today. Tell me, how good is your golf?
It's not bad. It's been a few years since I hit a ball, but I think like riding a bike, once you learn you can get back on and do it. So.
Right, now I read you come from Plymouth.
Plymouth, that's
in
correct.
The UK.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you pick up golf then?
In London, actually, with my auntie. So I kind of caught the bug when I was a young boy living up there in the summer and kind of just carried on doing it since then. So.
And you enjoyed it all the time?
Loved the game, yeah. Nice and free and be able to talk, walk around and get some sun at the same time.
Great, okay. Yeah. Ready to play?
Ready to play.
Let's play.
Great, thanks. Wish. This will be the first mulligan of the day.
Sean, tell me, do you take golf as a sort of a business tool, or do you actually enjoy it in the form of exercise?
Twofold. Obviously the exercise side of things first, getting out in the fresh air. I also think it's a great tool to talk to business partners, people in the industry, people even outside of the industry, just where you can talk. Just a bit of freedom really, like that, and make a lot of network, a lot of connections as well. And there's no sort of pressure on you here as well. I mean, everybody's game's different. You know, you play at your own level. Right. Yeah.
You can almost tell, as they say, the personality of somebody, can't you, on the golf course?
Yes. People can get frustrated very quickly, as I'm sure you're aware of that as well. If they miss a ball, hit a ball, yeah. A lot of swearing sometimes. Yeah. But you know, just try and keep your cool. I think, you know, some people maintain the pressure very well, yeah. A lot better than others.
Have you played in many courses around Indonesia?
In Bali.
Okay.
Bali are the main ones. I played once in Jakarta, okay. But Bali, obviously being my home as well, this is where I tend to try and come out a bit more.
I mean, they're beautiful. I mean,
beautiful.
Some of these. But unfortunately, there's only 4 of them, right, for 18 holes?
Very few golf courses, and it's not so easy to get to as well. A lot of places, like when I lived in the States and that, you're literally down the road, you can be at a golf course. Here, you've got to plan yourself. Plan like a day out really, which sometimes you want to play golf and then can you afford the time to go out? Do you want to go out? So it kind of have a knock-on effect as well for you. So.
Do you think Bali needs more of these golf courses, for example?
Definitely. I think now with the tourism that keeps growing, a lot of our international guests love to play golf. But again, Bali's making it very difficult at the moment for people to get on the course. So even if you could double, because you have beautiful landscapes all over, double the number of courses, I think that would definitely appease a lot of people internationally as well.
Yeah, I would think so, huh?
Yeah, and professionally as well, yeah.
I mean, how is the economy here doing anyway? Hospitality-wise, is it doing well? Despite the bomb threats and all that before, and terror threats and so on?
Yeah, after 2002 and I think was it 2005, it did take a slump. I mean, quite for obvious reasons. But now you wouldn't notice anything. I mean, there used to be a high season and a low season in Bali. That's gone now. Every day is high season, which is great. But there's a lot of people coming into the island. As you know, the airport has now expanded. So they're slowly getting better with their infrastructure. Hospitality is growing, definitely at that. But they need more facilities for people. It's not just about the beach. Like you said, even go back to the golf course as well. You need some stuff like that as well to entertain people.
Right, so there's a varied sort of, varied stuff to do here, right?
A lot of varied stuff to do. A lot of our Chinese tourists, they don't like the sun so much. So a lot of tours, safari parks for them to go on. The beach, of course, for the other nationalities, the surfing. For children as well. Or even if you're single, there's a lot to do here. So
yeah.
And there's a lot up north of Bali as well, if you go towards Singaraja and everything, with the mountains up there as well. So it's not all about the beach. Also a lot of culture here as well.
Sean, that was a pretty good drive. I mean, first drive anyway.
Yeah, thank you.
You've got a tough lie. You got to overcome those bunkers in front of us. And I don't know how far to the green. How far, Caddy?
How far?
250
yards?
250.
Meters, so it's like
250.
260 yards.
Yeah, okay, and with the wind as well.
Yep.
So
Wind. Okay, against you. Yeah, you're going up 280, I think.
okay,
Okay, go ahead.
thank you.
Nice one. Shot. Out of the rough.
Thank you.
Good one. Okay, where's my... Oh, no. More executive golf with Sean Carwithen in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Daniel Parkin from the Ledbetter Golf Academy here in Indonesia. Today we've got a really good tip for you to help you with your feel on the green. So what we want to do is to take the golf club with our right hand for a right-handed golfer, and we're just going to putt and get a feel for the speed with that one hand. It's like rolling the ball with your hand, okay? From here, what you then want to do is hit the putt. That's our executive tip for today. I will see you next time.
This is Executive Golf, and my playing partner today is Sean Carwithen. He is the CEO of Indonesia's leading hiring partner of international cruise lines. Pleasure, as always.
Pleasure,
We're taking a
thank you.
break now. We're here in the hole 15 at New Kuta. Great scenery. Where does Bali fit into this whole cruise industry?
Indonesia is probably the third arm of Asia, behind the Philippines, which has a very big maritime history, and India. Indonesia, the passengers or guests absolutely love the Indonesians with the hospitality, which is very natural for them. And that's probably the biggest part that they bring to the ships. Yes, they're very technically aware of what they have to do, but it's that natural personality, as you can see from Bali, that the passengers love and the ships love.
Now, why hasn't Bali capitalized on this? Is it the problem with the ports? Is it the problem with infrastructure? Why hasn't this cruise ship industry developed?
The first thing, as you said, is the infrastructure. Ships like to dock because passengers like to be able to walk on and off the ship on the gangway. When you have to tender, the guests sometimes get a bit irate, and you literally don't have any ports well, Benue you can dock the smaller ships, but elsewhere you can't dock, you have to tender. So that is one of the main reasons why it just hasn't developed here. The infrastructure will take a long time to develop. You've got to start somewhere. The opportunity is definitely here. I mean, you have 17,500 islands here that need to be
visited. Yeah.
And you can't, at the moment, you have to go by plane, by boat, and you have to keep chopping and changing. And it's a big change for Indonesia. Still, when I travel around Indonesia doing seminars for the schools, and they don't understand the industry. They don't really know what it's about. Yes, they know hospitality, the hotels, the restaurants, and the beaches, and such and so forth. But the cruise line is a very different beast for people to understand. They don't know the hospitality aspect. And for someone to invest in something they're not sure about, it keeps people away, unfortunately. But I think it's just a matter of time. The more as Bali develops itself infrastructure-wise and with the ports, before somebody comes in and makes Indonesia its home port.
You train a lot of people too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How many do you train?
Well, with Ratu, we also have links with Monarch Cruise Line Hotel School. Around 1,400 through a 6-month period, students, yeah, for D1. And what we're doing is you're taking not the 21-year-old, which is what you need to be to work on a ship, we're taking the 17-year-old, developing them, teaching them about the food and beverage, the housekeeping, the culinary, getting them the theory, and then we're getting them jobs, albeit in Bali or abroad. Keep them in the system, so when they turn 21, they're going to walk on the ship because their English is there already. At the moment, the English is basic, coupled with a little bit of the non-confidence. By working for a couple of years, they're just going to walk into it. So that's what we do as well. Yeah.
Sean, could you see a time when you actually have a Indonesian carrier or cruise line?
I can see the time, absolutely. They tried it once, it wasn't successful. And I think the time's getting closer now. As I said before, there's a lot of interest in Indonesia. The population is growing here in Bali alone, the new airport that they have. I just think it's a matter of time. And I just hope it's the right person that comes in for the right reason, for the passion. You know, because running a cruise line is not easy. It is a business, but understanding how the dynamics work, very different to hotels and other hospitality businesses. So it's a strange beast, but it attracts you and keeps you. I mean, I'm 24 years in this, and
I know. What has kept you for 24 years?
I love the business, the development, the people you meet. Obviously, I mean, I've met friends all over the world, thousands and thousands. Even when I was recruiting for different cruise lines, you go to different places. I've been all over. I think 106 countries I've been lucky to go to. So. The diversity of this business, I'm so interested in what's going on. And as I mentioned before, what you give back to people, giving someone the opportunity to get a job and change their life forever. From making $300 a month here to making, if you're a waiter, $3,000 a month there. What they can do with that money when they come home is just, that's one of the best parts of this.
While we're waiting for the people in front of us, what keeps you in Bali?
You know what, Lorraine, it's giving people the opportunity to work abroad. It's something that a lot of people, they never get the chance for someone to help them get the jobs. We give people the opportunity to work internationally, and it's just so rewarding when you see people go to the ships, come back, and then after a couple of years you see them change Before they were very timid, sometimes lacking a lot of confidence. They come back after 1-2 years, they've got money in their pockets, their confidence, helping the families, and that is the good part about this, and that's why I continue to do it, is to do that.
That was Jaguarawi, a hole-in-one. Hole number 5 on the new course. We couldn't even see it because the hole was hidden. We all looked all over the place until somebody went up to the pin and said, oh, it's down there.
This week's edition of Executive Golf is coming to you from Bali's new Kuta course in Uluwatu. Sean,
Yeah.
how long do you plan to live here?
Indefinitely.
Really?
Yeah, I have no plans to leave Bali or Indonesia at the moment with the business, with my family here as well. No, for now, indefinitely to live here.
Are there many foreigners that sort of come to Bali, fall in love and stay here?
Yes, a lot of people retire here. As you go around Bali, you see a lot of expatriates, or bule as they call them, who just leave their own country. They get a better value for money here. You look at the environment, the weather, the people, and they just literally fall in love. Some come for a holiday, no intentions of staying long, and they've just stayed here for years. So,
Is there something, I mean, since the first time you came till now, is there some changes that have really stuck out in your mind when it comes to Bali?
the growth, I think, is one of the biggest things. It's literally gone up like 15% since I've been here now.
Wow.
And it's starting to get a little bit congested, whereby, and you know, it used to have your season, your high or your low season, and you could plan where you wanted to go. Now there's people, and it's good to have people everywhere, but sometimes you just want a little bit of downtime as well, and it's very hard to find that because, you know, this is a tourist destination, one of the best in the world, and long may it continue to grow. So I'd probably just say the population of, not actually Balinese, but the tourists has just grown so much now. So with the influx of China, Japan, India as well, people are coming from all over the place. So.
Is there something Bali needs to do more of to cater to this development?
I would probably, from a language standpoint, I think English is probably one of the main points that they need to work on. Even with the front of house staff as well, their English is very, very limited, and that's okay. But if they want to better themselves as well, but you've got to think about the service for the tourist. You're not going to get the same as you had at home, but you want something pretty comparable. And I think that's where the training needs to come in a little bit more from the managers of these restaurants and hotels, and to give the Indonesians the confidence to talk to the tourists.
Education, basically, right?
It's down to the education and the frequency of how much they do. English, as we know, is such a popular language.
Difficult to learn, though.
It's difficult, and we make it very difficult, the English. But I think, especially like with our training schools, you can make it simple, you can make it fun, and people will remember this. And I think that's what they need to do. it's not about the 8-10 different tenses and big vocabulary. It's practice, it's repetition. I think that's the important thing for people to do, yeah, and the confidence as well.
There was some concern voiced that with development always comes sort of too much commercial ventures, and that is detrimental to the local culture, the local practices of peoples. Do you find this an issue at all here in Bali?
I see there's resistance from foreign investment, that the locals, as we can call them, they want to keep Bali as what Bali was 30 years ago. And I fully understand that. You don't want to overdevelop, otherwise it will lose its identity, and Bali will start to be absorbed as just another regular spot. Bali stands out at the moment. I don't want it to grow too much and, like you say, over commercialize, and then it just becomes a brand. No, it needs to keep its heritage, and I hope they continue to do that as well. So,
I mean, Sean, you've lived here for quite a few years, not only Bali, but Indonesia as well. There are many other places aside from Bali that are stunning, are beautiful, yet people don't know about it. People know Bali, they know Jakarta.
Correct.
You know, why? I mean, what more needs to be done?
It's like everything. It's not exposed enough. I mean, when you look on the map, everything's about Bali, Jakarta. People don't venture out enough, and it comes down to also your infrastructure. You don't make it easy for people to travel and discover new places. You know, you got your trains or your planes, whatever like that. It's not easy for people to go to. Maybe just want to go to Lombok, for example, or go to Komodo. It takes a while and it costs money as well. So if you can build that in as well, I think people will just start to discover it's not just those two places as you mentioned.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's your ball.
Oh, yeah.
You can just pitch it
yards,
on, don't you?
200 yards.
Pitch it on. An easy pitch.
I hope so. Nice try.
Thank you. Thank you. Sean Carwithen, thank you so much. Really
Thank you very
appreciate
much,
your
Lorraine,
time.
for your time as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good day of golf.
And you as well. Thank you.
Yeah. And that wraps up this edition of Executive Golf, coming to you from Bali's new Kuta Golf Course in Uluwatu. I'm Lorraine Hahn. Keep swinging.